Well, welcome to our bicentennial parade. The governor of the state of Vermont, Governor Dean. We'll get you on television as soon as the camera turns around, but we're delighted to have you in Brattleboro and for our bicentennial parade.
So I'm delighted to be here, and it's nice that it was this kind of weather because it's been a lot of planning and a lot of hard work.
Well, of course, Governor, we read and saw with interest the big gala celebration in Montpelier just a few weeks ago to mark the bicentennial. This is our first chance to really have a statewide celebration in Brattleboro, and we have just a spectacular day for it, too.
It really is spectacular, and it's probably the biggest show in Vermont. Certainly, I think it's probably the biggest parade I've ever been in the state, and I've been at it for about 5 years now, so people ought to be really proud of themselves.
Governor, I know you've been to a lot of bicentennial celebrations. There'll probably be a lot more before this year ends. It certainly has been a celebration of Vermont's 200th birthday.
It is, and there are a lot of things that we need to do to get onto the third century, fiscal stability, jobs, and so forth. But I think this is there's a lot of pride here, and it's pretty terrific.
We'll get a chance to take a break of some of the things that we'll have to deal with very shortly, budgets, taxes, et cetera, and get to enjoy our statehood.
Right. Well, we can do that on Tuesday because, as you know, I'll be back down on a more serious mission then.
On that note, Governor, what will you be doing in Brattleboro next week?
Pretty much what we're pretty much doing is promoting the economic plan. There are two parts of the fiscal stability. The first is to pass a budget that's very, very lean because we obviously can't raise taxes anymore. It's been done for the last 2 years. And the second is to create a long-term economic job base. And that's what I'll be interested in doing on Brattleboro. I'm meeting with a lot of businesses all over the state, touring a lot of businesses. We're going to help businesses market their services to other businesses in Vermont and out of Vermont and really try to concentrate on well-paying jobs so that we can get back to our commitments for things like child care and adequate health care.
Well, good. Well, we'll see you back next week, but enjoy the parade today, Governor.
Thanks a lot, Larry.
Good to have you with us. Governor Howard Dean, who is here to watch our bicentennial parade as we get back to our fifth division in the parade, Connecticut. Floats just going by. It's from Sportsmen's Incorporated and the Deerfield Valley Sportsmen's Club. This is the University of Massachusetts Minuteman Marching Band. They are 350 members strong. We'll get to see them perform at Stolte Field about 6 o'clock tonight. The largest band in this bicentennial parade. Leave you with goosebumps. The University of Massachusetts Marching Band, 350 strong. They arrived in town last night through the help of a lot of Brattleboro businesses and individuals, made their stay a welcome one. They'll be performing at 6 o'clock at Stolte Field for a concert. Don't miss it. It may even be earlier depending on when our parade ends. The entry is from St. Johnsbury Trucking in Vermont, going back to their earlier days. This is from the Brattleboro Union High School class of 1941 in their float entry, our living link with the past. Fort Dummer from 1724, the original settling of the town of Brattleboro. Now known as the Hunts Meadows setback. Most of the fort underwater off Route 142, south of Brattleboro. Sing now the Lexington Minuteman Band and the Lexington Minuteman Company. They are, of course, from Massachusetts. This is Division 6 of our spectacular parade, the state of Massachusetts. promote entry is from Stockwell's Village Store in what's known as our West Village of West Brattleboro, depicting the old days of the general store. And some more antique fire apparatus in our parade. This is from the Athol Fire Association. It is a 1920 ladder truck from Athol, Massachusetts. A little different from our $450,000 1991 aerial ladder truck of the Brattleboro Fire Department that arrived in time for our 4th of July parade. Delegation coming by from the Green Mountain National Forest in Vermont. Source of a lot of enjoyment for camping, hiking, and just outdoor recreation under the Department of Agriculture. Vermont's National Forest celebrating 100 years. That's from the U.S. Department of Agriculture Forest Service. And old Smokey the Bear riding atop of one of the pickup trucks in the parade. Band coming by is from Agawam, Massachusetts High School. We're on to Division 7. This is from the state of Maryland. And this is the Chittenden County Sheriff's Department leading Division 7 of our parade. Right behind them, Christians Motorcyclist Association. Once again, it's Christians Motorcyclist Association performing in our parade, coming by with their motorcycles. And some unique motorcycles is that for parade entries. Parade coming to you live here on Channel 8 on Warner Cable through the efforts of a lot of people. And for those of you that have been asking and calling the station during the week about will copies of the parade be available, Yes, they will. It has been worked out as of today. BRW Electronics, Richard Harper is putting that together. Copies of the Bicentennial Parade will be available for sale at $25 each. Just get in touch with BRW Electronics. They're in Black Mountain Square on Putney Road in Brattleboro. Richard Harper for the Bicentennial Committee is coordinating that with Warner Cable. And you'll have a souvenir of the spectacular parade, the largest we have seen in Brattleboro, and safe to say the state of Vermont. And we're not halfway through this parade. 15 division parade, the 13 original states, the 14th to join the Union being the state of Vermont. And we're celebrating our 200th anniversary in this parade. And of course, Canada being the 15th division, in which we will see the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. And understand their horses are spectacular from the delegation for the RCMP. Band approaching, coming up Main Street, is Kern Hatton Marching Band from Saxton's River, Vermont, and Kern Hatton Homes. Joining us from the Bicentennial Committee, Greg Warden. How are we looking? What a spectacular parade. Just watching the UMass band go by moments ago left you with chills.
Really amazing parade. I think it's going faster, though, than we had expected it to go, which is even nicer in a lot of ways. We're on, what, Division 7 now? Or
we're about halfway through our parade.
Halfway through, and it's only 2:30, 2:20 here.
What's the word? Of course, we heard up until this point that the UMass band, some 350 members, would be performing in a free concert at Stolte Field at 6. Might that be moved up because of the parade, or do we have to wait to know, Greg?
We'll still have to wait to know a little bit. They're going to plan to feed the band over at the high school, too, so I'm not sure whether that's going to be before or after. I would imagine that'll be after their performance. But we'll have an update on that depending on how the parade does flow.
Okay, we'll wait for word from you or John Turner or someone about when we can anticipate. They are truly fantastic.
They really, really are. It's well worth the trip over to the high school to see them perform over there, because they're going to do about an hour show over there.
But things certainly are moving fast.
Wonderful. Everything's been very, very smooth. Probably the slowest contingent right now has been the Navy, which put on a wonderful performance. And I think everybody loved that so much it didn't matter that it was a little bit slower right through there. So,
Greg, thank you for joining us. Greg Warden from our Bicentennial Committee. That was the Kern Hatton Marching Band from Kern Hatton Homes in Westminster and Saxton's River passing by. Order of Eastern Star is the float entry, and District 8 of the Grand Lodge of Freemasons, and the Brattleboro Lodge, number 102. We're right here at the Masonic Temple, the official reviewing stand in downtown Brattleboro. And our thanks to all of the Masons for allowing us to set up here, the official reviewing stand right next to me here on the stand, Governor Howard Dean, Martha O'Connor from the Board of Selectmen in Brattleboro, State Senator Bob Gannett is here, and of course our Grand Parade Marshal Barbara Snelling viewing this wonderful parade from downtown Brattleboro. We'll get a chance to talk with them again a little later. Mason's float coming by now. Spectacular float. These are just wonderful floats that we're seeing. Chairman's Award. Best use of color in this parade. It's from the Brattleboro Lodge. Chartered June 16th of 1881. You can hear the crowd go up here from the Masonic Temple in Brattleboro. Calliope here is from First National Bank of Vermont. Right behind them, the Green Mountain Square Square Dancing Club. They're from Brattleboro. We're in Division 7, Maryland, of our 15 Division Bicentennial Parade today. See the square dancers passing by in their float entry. And the country corner squares. So their bright outfits for square dancing on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Shriners coming by from Rutland. Cairo Temple Shriners, Drum and Bugle Corps still coming up in Cairo Temple Shriners. Funny car. Shriners, of course, bill themselves as the world's greatest philanthropy, raising money for one cause, the hospitals that they own and operate for burned or crippled children, nearest of which are in Springfield, Massachusetts and Boston, Massachusetts. That Shriners all around the Brattleboro, Rutland, and Montpelier area, of course, raise money for, including the big Shrine Maple Sugar Bowl football game that we just had in August. There's Martin Shorty Jewett in one of our convertibles, a Shriner, just enjoying the day. There's one of the funny cars from the Shriners. We've got two front ends of this car. I don't know who's in charge. Thompson School for Practical Nurses in their float entry. Vermont Council of the Telephone Pioneers of America. These are the retirees who work for New England Telephone Company and get involved in a lot of fundraising efforts. And the Telephone Pioneers Clown Unit right behind them in our parade. Division 7, just about halfway through, 15 Division Parade. We are an hour and a half into this parade. It stepped off on time at 1 o'clock from the Exit 1 Industrial Park on Upper Canal Street. It is a 3-mile parade route, the longest we've seen for a parade ever in Brattleboro, going all the way to the Veterans Bridge and the Rollerdrome. Actually, that is the official line of march, but many of the units will continue past there to the staging area on the north end of town, the shopping plazas where their transportation and other vehicles will be waiting. They don't have to come walking back. Luckily, most of it is downhill, down through Canal Street, Hospital Hill into the downtown area. Slight incline, of course, coming up the lower Main Street hill, but after that and out Putney Road, it's down and clear sailing, and it just gorgeous day. 69 degrees is our temperature here in downtown Brattleboro. We started off chilly at 39 degrees at 8 o'clock when we started all of the logistics for getting ready for our television and radio coverage here. And actually, Warner Cable and Channel 8 personnel were here yesterday afternoon to get the control van and all of the hardware in place, and then first thing this morning to get the cameras set up Bob Donnie joins us, who is the right arm of our parade chairman, John Turner. How are we looking, Chief?
We're looking great. The Mounties are coming up, and just for a point of information, one of the gentlemen is the superintendent of the RCMPs. He runs all the ceremonial units. The other gentleman is the riding master for the musical ride.
Bob, are we ahead of schedule here? You're doing a fantastic effort.
Just a little bit. We're keeping things moving, keeping the gaps slow so that the kids can enjoy it and not get itchy.
Well, at this point, we're about halfway through. This is our 7th division. It looks like, and we're an hour and a half into the parade. It looks like maybe a 3-hour parade.
3 hours, I think we can do it in.
Well, this is fantastic. You couldn't ask for better weather. Apparently, with your 90-some-odd parade marshals, everything is just progressing fine.
Fine. Everything is going along very well, and everybody's cooperating. Hope everybody's having a good time.
Well, good. Bob, thank you for joining us. Keep us posted on how things are working.
Thank you.
Just an incredible effort. Of course, John Turner, who is Mr. Parade in Brattleboro, just knows how to get everything coordinated with the marshals and his crew. And just joking, when I saw him on Saturday with the last-minute plans in hand for the parade, it was, Larry, don't worry. We'll have a spectacular parade. Just worry about the weather. We'll take care of the rest. Amen. Floats coming by and participants from the Southeastern Vermont Career Education Center at Brattleboro Union High School and the future business leaders of America located at the Career Center in Brattleboro and their float entry. Just fantastic floats in this parade. A lot of work went into these. The theme of their float is, we've come a long way, Vermont. This is Carla Mansfield, equestrian, in Division 7 of our parade. Now coming up, and you can see the Canadian colors and the Canadian banner being waved. This is the Canadian division of our parade. The banner from Canada, the color guard, Royal Canadian Mounted Police that we have been waiting for, Canadian Consulate General Tom McMillan, Quebec Trade Delegate, and of course the band that you'll get a chance to hear in just a few minutes. Canadian division in our bicentennial parade in Brattleboro. Look at the size of the horses from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Beautiful horses. Here come the Mounties. This is a Canadian division in our bicentennial parade. Our neighbors to the north helping celebrate Vermont's 200th birthday. Band is the Senators from Canada performing. We're on to Division 8 of our parade, South Carolina. The banner, of course, will see the color guard and the Caledonia County Sheriff's Department from Vermont leading this division of our parade. It is Division 8. Right behind them, the River Valley Riders Motorcycle Club. Coming up, you can hear in the background, just clearing the intersection of Main and High Street here in downtown Brattleboro, the St. Johnsbury Academy Band from St. Johnsbury, Vermont, in this Division 8 of our parade, 15 divisions long. I think the largest parade we usually have in Brattleboro in terms of divisions is 6, with quite obviously fewer participants in those 6 divisions. So we're just seeing a wonderful parade. We are an hour and a half into this parade and about halfway through, so if all holds, this will be a 3-hour parade. It was estimated to be anywhere from a 4 to 5-hour parade, but it's progressing very smoothly along this 3-mile march route. The St. Johnsbury Academy Band. Coming by in the line of march, the 10th Mountain Division of Pando Commandos. They were the ski troops of World War II, the 10th Mountain Division. Our next float entry is, of course, from the Brattleboro Retreat in Brattleboro, depicting their farm stand with farm products from their own farm on Route 30 here in Brattleboro. Colorful entry. You can see a lot of fruits and vegetables just sitting right up there on the float pulled by the John Deere, and it's from the Brattleboro Retreat. Right behind them, the Newberry Freedom Singers and their covered horse-drawn wagon. That's the Weston Band wagon with the Newberry Freedom Singers. And it's Division 8, South Carolina of our Bicentennial Parade. Next entry is from our nearby Windham County town of Grafton and the Grafton Village Apple Company. And right behind them, the music that you hear, at least the drums for right now, is the Brattleboro Junior High School Marching Band from Brattleboro. We're off to Division 9, the state of New Hampshire. Banner, of course, from the state of New Hampshire, the Color Guard, and the Orange County Sheriff's Department coming right behind. And our float entry is from Cub Scout Pack 433 here in Brattleboro, scouting in Vermont. Scouting since 1906 when it started in Barry, Vermont. New Hampshire, Division 9. Of course, our neighbors right across the Connecticut River. And from nearby Keene, my alma mater, the Keene High School Blackbirds Marching Band. Some tractor entries that you can see just coming into view. 1937 high 40 John Deere tractor and a 1951 crop tractor. Right behind our tractors, the entries from the Friends of Music at Guilford. At 25, salutes Vermont's 200th birthday. They, of course, have musical productions throughout the year and are very active in performing arts in the Brattleboro area. Don McLean riding in the open-top Jeep, members of Friends of Music. Next entry is from the Benevolent and Protective Order of Eagles, or Elks. That's the Elks Club, Lodge 1499 in Brattleboro, and it's their emblem club, number 517, from the Elks. And their old, what would have been in those days, a horse-drawn wagon, these days, with a tractor. From Randolph Union High School in Randolph, Vermont, the Randolph Union High School Marching Band, joining us from Central Vermont. Over 40 bands and 200 marching units and floats participating in this bicentennial parade. Massive effort forming at the staging area, the Exit 1 Industrial Park and side streets all the way down to Brattleboro Union High School, coming into Brattleboro. Years of service, 1941 to 1991. This is the Brattleboro Ski Patrol. In the early days, many of their members were instrumental in the forming of Rescue Inc. in Brattleboro back in 1966. And still, some of their members are active, or at least participate in a lot of the rescue activities. The Brattleboro Ski Patrol. And their float entry. A lot of the Ski Patrol members through the years. This is a 1919 Ford Model T chemical fire truck. It is an entry from Charlestown, New Hampshire, in this Division 9, which is our neighbors from the state of New Hampshire. And from Fall Mountain High School, Fall Mountain Regional High School Marching Band, the Wildcat Band from Fall Mountain in our parade, and their black and maroon outfits. Fall Mountain Regional High School Mountain Band, Marching Band. And just what you're seeing coming up Main Street now is the last in Division 9, the Morris Dancers that perform all over the area, usually in the springtime. They are certainly very much a part of Vermont. And they're showing off their stuff right here in our Bicentennial Parade. We're 9 divisions into this 15 division parade that began at 1 o'clock this afternoon, almost 2 hours ago. The Morris Dancers, they are headquartered here in Brattleboro. They perform all over Windham County and adjoining communities. Still a bright sunny day here in downtown Brattleboro and all along the parade route. 3-mile parade route, a little longer than what we're used to. Our normal parades run from the Price Chopper parking lot on Upper Canal Street to the Brattleboro Common. This one formed above that at the Exit 1 Industrial Park and will conclude at the Veterans Bridge in Brattleboro by the Rollerdrome. These are the Morris Dancers, ending Division 9 of our parade. And we can see the Sheriff's Department car approaching with bright lights, just clearing the intersection of Main and High Street, which will signal Division 10 in our parade, which is Virginia, you can see on the banner. Color Guard from the state of Virginia will be here. And the cruiser you see is the Addison County Sheriff's Department Sheriff's car. In this division, we'll see the Middlebury Union High School Band, Boy Scout Troop 459, Rainbow Girls, Cooperative Fire Insurance Association of Vermont, the American Legion Band, Gordon Bissell Post Band from Keene, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Vermont Agriculture and Farming Float, Brattleboro Music Center, and Miss Vermont National Preteen, Bethany Sheldon, all in this Division 10 of our parade. This is a Middlebury Union High School marching band from Middlebury, Vermont, in Division 10 of our parade. They're known as the Tiger Band from Middlebury Union High School. Our float entry is from Boy Scout Troop number 459. And right behind him, if there was any doubt, the float is from Rainbow Girls, the International Order of Rainbow for Girls, depicting the rainbow. Gorgeous, colorful float passing by here in downtown Brattleboro for this bicentennial parade. Our parade chairman, John Turner, just putting on a spectacular bicentennial parade today with over 200 units, better than 40 marching bands. Tremendous effort. It's a long march, too, when you consider 3 miles plus all of the standing and waiting. These participants had to be in place by 10 or 11 o'clock this morning to get lined up, be in the right order, and be ready to go. Cooperative Fire Insurance Association of Vermont is the float. Old-fashioned service in modern times. The old horse-drawn carriage under motor power these days. And being sponsored by Cheshire County Savings Bank, our neighbors from Keene, New Hampshire. It's the Gordon Bissell Post 4 American Legion Marching Band that we have seen in virtually every Brattleboro parade through the years. Of course, now we're honored to have our own American Legion Marching Band, but these organizations work together, and let's enjoy them now for our bicentennial parade. Happy birthday, Vermont. This is from Youth Services of Windham County, the Big Brothers, Big Sisters program, and many other youth-oriented programs from Youth Services in Brattleboro. Their float entry, 4 seasons to love Vermont. I'm a big brother. Boy, that's got to be hard walking on stilts for 3 miles. And some of the big brothers, big sisters. The float entries that you're going to see here represent Vermont agriculture and farming in our Division 10, which is Virginia. From Windham County farmers, we are all farmers, outstanding in our fields. We'll play on words. The Hamiltons from West Brattleboro took time off from milking cows to participate in our bicentennial parade. There's an old farmall tractor coming by. And a horse-drawn entry, too. That's incredible. Farmer Jay Bailey. I'll bet those are his draft horses from Fairwinds Farm on the Upper Dummerston Road. He's the voice you hear on WTSA each week for the Brattleboro Area Farmers Market, listing all of the goods available at the Farmers Market, and a member of the Farmers Market Board in Brattleboro. The Brattleboro Music Center and their delegation. Coming by in the open-top convertible ending Division 10 Virginia, Miss Vermont National Preteen, Bethany Sheldon. .69 degrees and bright sunshine, light breeze in downtown Brattleboro at 5 minutes before 3, and we are on to Division 11, New York States. Again, our parade encompasses the 13 original states, the 14th to join in 1791 being the state of Vermont, and our 15th division was, of course, the Canadian division, which we've already seen. This is the color guard coming by from New York. The Sheriff's Department is from Rutland County. And the band will be the American Legion Color Guard from Rutland, and right behind them, the Fairhaven Union High School Marching Band. Coming by, our next float entry is from the city of Rutland, Vermont. The old railroad train over the train trestle, complete with smoke coming out the stack. Entries from the city of Rutland. Good to see them in our bicentennial parade here in Brattleboro. Next float entry is from Osable Chasm, which is in New York. Well, you can hear the bagpipes in the background. The band is the Champlain and District Pipe Band. is from the Thompson Residential Home, part of Brattleboro Mutual Aid. Thompson Nursing Home on Maple Street in Brattleboro, near float entry. And of course, our wheelman, Dick Wellman, participating in yet another Brattleboro parade and his great bicycle. He doesn't miss a parade. Vietnam vets coming by in our parade, and VFW Post 5933 Color Guard from Ghent, New York. The VFW Band also from Ghent, New York, and again, Vietnam vets. They are all from New York State, participating in this Division 11, the state of New York. And getting a rousing hand, of course, for their involvement in Operation Desert Storm in the Gulf earlier this year. Band again is the VFW Band from Ghent, New York, approaching us at the reviewing stand here at the Masonic Temple in downtown Brattleboro. Watching live coverage of Brattleboro's Bicentennial Parade here on Channel 8, public access from Warner Cable. Copies of the parade will be available. The cost is $25. And Richard Harper at BRW Electronics in Black Mountain Square on Putney Road is coordinating that. So if you want a copy of this Bicentennial Parade that many have asked about, that's where you get it. Coming up, Division 12, North Carolina, with a banner color guard being led by the Windsor County Sheriff's Department. Students that you see carrying the banners are students from the Bellows Falls Middle School. Coming up in Division 12, North Carolina, the U.S. Army Color Guard, 18th Army Band from Fort Devens, which you can hear in the background. Entries from the Whitingham Historical Society, Preserving the Past, chartered in 1770. In our Division 12, it is from North Carolina. That's the Green Mountain Union High School Marching Band coming by in our Division 12, North Carolina. Float entries from the Halifax Homecoming Weekend Committee. Halifax founded in 1750. Another of our Windham County towns participating in our bicentennial parade today. It represents and depicts the Halifax School District number 7. A look at our future, a part of our past. The old one-room schoolhouse, many of which still exist here in Vermont. Wouldn't expect to see snowmobiles in 69-degree weather in Brattleboro, so it must be the Cairo Temple Ski Mobile unit. Again, part of the Shriners. Instead of the skis on the sleds, they're on wheels. But nonetheless, very much a part of our bicentennial parade. And the Hillbilly unit. Outhouse number 1. Again, the sole purpose of the Shriners is to raise money for the Shriners, and it'll be the Bennington County Sheriff's Department leading Division 13 of our parade. Bank of Vermont listing 69 degrees. Everyone feared even 18 months ago, what are we going to have for weather? It's fickle about this time of the year. They can have a very warm, humid day or a chilly fall day for September 22nd. But we lucked out. This is Rhode Island, Division 13 of our parade. That is just coming up as soon as our ski mobile unit moves on. Mount Anthony Union High School Marching Band from Bennington coming by. Hopefully we get a chance to hear them. Our Grand Parade Marshal, Barbara Snelling, wife of the late Governor Richard Snelling, here on the reviewing stand, along with a longtime friend and supporter of the Snellings through the years, and personal friends, Chuck Cummings. Governor Dean and his family watching the parade in Brattleboro. Entry is from Hemmings Motor News. They are headquartered in Bennington, Vermont, and it says the Bible of the old auto hobby. And some old cars that quite obviously have seen better days. Now you see the before and the after. Before, anything can be recycled. And then the after. Hemmings Motor News. They are from Bennington, Vermont. Still breezy and a little chilly if you're not in the sun in downtown Brattleboro, as you can see. These are fantastic antique vehicles from Hemmings Motor News. They participate in a lot of parades around the area in the state of Vermont. Don't have any indication on these vehicles other than their entries from Hemmings Motor News, but you can see some antique cars that are passing by in this division. Next float entry is from Vermont National Bank. Offices all over the state of Vermont, but they are headquartered here in Brattleboro, and it is their float entry. Showing the old bandstand on the Common. Just spectacular floats. incredible effort has gone into these floats. Float entry is Sunday in the park. Our final division, and of course we saved the best for last, is Vermont. Now again, it was a 15 division parade, but that included our Canadian delegation, which didn't have a specific designation. But Vermont will be our final division in the parade. So this parade moving along brightly. Old entries from the Springfield Fire Department. Break in the parade will resume in just a moment as you look down Main Street and see some more apparatus coming up. It is from the Springfield Fire Department. Their slack steamer hose company, 1848 hand tub, 1918 AL combo, and their antique apparatus. And nice to see it's made it this far in the parade. Worst fear of parade marshals is having a lot of these antique vehicles break down along the line of march and then having to deal with it. So far, so good, according to Bob Donnie of the parade committee. Everything looking good. Again, as we mentioned, a lot of people, hardier souls, got here at 8 o'clock anticipating that if they waited to the last minute, they would not get a good spot to watch this parade. Huddled with heavy winter garb and blankets, bravely took their place on the sidewalk so that they wouldn't miss anything. And as the sun came up about 9 o'clock this morning and the fog went up over Mount Wetaskiwin, we could just see the lawn chairs come out and a lot of Brattleboroians and those from all over the area come in to watch this parade. Estimates went as high as 30,000. Quite obviously, we're about half that, about 10 to 15,000 people in town for the parade. But again, don't let that fool you. It is going to create a massive traffic problem afterwards, and nothing will move here in the downtown area until shuttle buses have taken everyone back out to West Brattleboro or to Putney Road, those that left their vehicles in the satellite parking to come in and view this parade. Bellows Falls Union High School marching band from nearby Bellows Falls here in Windham County. And right behind them, Windham County Cloggers. And their float entry. Well, they're lucky they didn't have to walk. But then again, I guess I had to clog for a 3-mile parade route, I'd be tired too. It's a long parade route for people that are not used to it. Again, for the more seasoned that are in Brattleboro parades, it's about well, it's an extended usual route. Again, our parades usually run from Upper Canal Street to the Brattleboro Common. This one started before that in the Exit 1 Industrial Park for the most part, and will end at Veterans Bridge by the Rollerdrome on Putney Road. And in fact, even some of the participants will go on beyond that to the Fairfield and Brattleboro North shopping plazas. Well, here we are, 2.5 hours into our parade. This is our final division, Division 14, Vermont. We save the best for last as we celebrate the state's 200th birthday. Of course, our color guard. We'll see some dignitaries in the parade expected to be here. Senator and Mrs. Jim Jeffords and former Governor Madeline Kunin, late minute entry. There's Jim Jeffords walking in the parade. Now, he usually decides to walk in these parades without his coat, but he's obviously got a good pair of sneakers on for a 3-mile hike in Brattleboro. And former Governor Madeline Kunin walking in the parade. participating in our Brattleboro Bicentennial Parade. Governor Cunin. Waving to the crowd. This is, of course, the Windham County Sheriff's Department that is leading our Vermont division. And our own Brattleboro Union High School Marching Band. Coming up is from First Vermont Bank, again with offices all over Vermont, headquartered here in Brattleboro. Bank's just putting in a spectacular effort in these floats. I'm sure they got a lot of their employees involved with this, and it really shows. The entry we just saw a few moments ago from Vermont National Bank, and this is First Vermont Bank. Their entry is General Store 1791. You won't find any Twinkies or Coke in this one. The U.S. Postal Service for the state of Vermont participating. Delighted to see them in a float entry. We want to thank again our postmaster in Brattleboro, Joe Tatro, for the spectacular effort allowing us to use the parking lot here for our Warner Cable and WTSA coverage of this parade. They were just spectacular, and all of the arrangements, which began last night to get everything ready, as well as the Masonic Temple for their help here at the official reviewing stand where we're located. Shows the Vermont Bicentennial stamp, the U.S. Postal Service. And there's our postmaster, Joe Tatro, along the line of march, and the postal employees. Good to see them in the parade. The Brattleboro Historical Society, of course, depicting the SD cottage organ, one of our thriving industries in the 1800s. It still leaves its mark on this community. Of course, there's a permanent SD organ display in our Brattleboro Museum and Art Center in downtown Brattleboro. If you have not seen it, you've heard a lot about the SD family and SD organs, you should see it. The museum is open daily, and it's a permanent exhibit that is in place. Many of the organs were donated by Hyacinth Renaud of Brattleboro, and you can see those organs at the Museum and Art Center. American Legion from Bellows Falls. Miss Vermont, Tina Ostrowski, participating in our bicentennial parade in this Division 14, Vermont. Tina Ostrowski, local girl. She is from Bellows Falls, Vermont. These are the Berkshire Highlanders, and you can hear the bagpipes performing, passing by the reviewing stand now. Finance Chairman Wayne, how are we looking for the UMass band? Are we on for 6, or might we be earlier?
I think at least it might be earlier, but no later than 6. Everything's went beautiful and looks good.
Nobody puts on a parade like Brattleboro. Listen, how are we doing on fundraising, Wayne?
I need some more money, and I'm sure the people will come through for me. Not too much more, but we're going to pay all our bills.
We still have a lot of people have asked about our Brattleboro Parade Bicentennial shirts or T-shirts. Are they available anywhere, or sweatshirts, Wayne?
I think they're going to have some of the sweatshirts up there tonight, and also probably the memento cups. and things like that. And they can also buy the posters if they want for $1.
Okay, and that'll help defray expenses. Okay, just a spectacular effort. Vermont exhibits coming by now. I got to keep track of what we're doing here. Vermont chapter number 1 of American Ex-Prisoners of War. Management District, but there he is, the Lord of the Flies, Steve Johnson. He's a lot of fun. He's actually made recycling and the issue of solid waste fun. We enjoy having him in interviews, both here on Channel 8 and on WTSA. And very appropriate, too. Well, that is it. A parade that has lasted some 2.5 hours. The estimates were that this parade would go anywhere from 4 to 5 hours, but that's all right. Things stepped off lively. We had no problems. The parade began at exactly 1 o'clock on schedule. And again, we will let you know, but it certainly will not be after 6 o'clock, that the University of Massachusetts Marching Band, some 350 strong, will be participating up at Stolte Field at the high school complex. They will put on a free concert, but I'm sure they're going to have a chance to rest up, get something to eat. I would say that that's probably still going to be safe, 6 o'clock this evening. If we can talk with Carolyn Crowley, she is the director of the Vermont Bicentennial Commission, who got a chance to have a cup of coffee. Wasn't this a spectacular parade?
Wonderful. It was the best parade I've ever seen, and the floats were terrific. Just thinking about, there were 8,000 people I hear in the parade. I heard the Masonic temples that it took 6 weeks to make their float. If you try to figure out how many people were involved with this parade, it's just mind-boggling. It was just terrific.
Have you ever seen such spectacular floats in your life?
Never. There's really the creativity that Vermonters have, and I think the amount of work they put into the parade really reflects on how much they love Vermont.
Well, listen, you're our official spokesperson for the Bicentennial Commission. Did we do you proud with this parade?
Oh, you did indeed. It was wonderful, and I've been waiting for it, and it's sort of bittersweet for me because a lot of things that we've been working on are coming to an end. It was wonderful, but as more and more projects wrap up, it also reminds me that 1991 is, 3/4 of the way through.
Sure is. Well, we're delighted to have you down here. Glad that you enjoyed the parade, and I hope you stay for the rest of the festivities.
Oh, I would love to, and I may just do that and stroll around. It's been terrific.
Carolyn, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Carolyn Crowley, the director of the Vermont State Bicentennial Commission, here on hand at the reviewing stand to watch our parade. As it draws to a close quickly in downtown Brattleboro, I want to thank the spectacular effort, as you see, this crowd that formed at 8 o'clock this morning, beginning at 8 o'clock this morning, start to leave. I want to thank everybody that participated, and apologies if I blow any names, but everybody that made this possible. And Channel 8 wishes to thank the following volunteers: Paul Armento, Linda Bills, Desmond Brophy, Brian Brophy, Paul Burdo, Peter Cooper, Kevin Donnelly, Aldine Fredenberg, Bill Harvey, Edith Harvey, Chris Johnson, Sue Cahout, Ashley Loomis, and Suzanne Tarazzi. Also, Linden Gardens at 18 Linden Street in Brattleboro for donating parking space to Channel 8 volunteers. The Brattleboro Recreation Department for use of their facilities. The Brattleboro Post Office for parking, and Postmaster Joe Tatro, and everyone else that helped coordinate all of this. And to our friends here at the Masonic Temple in Brattleboro, Lou Bukasi and his wonderful staff for allowing us. Lou, come right over here on television. This is the guy behind the scenes that allowed us to use his facilities and the official reviewing stand. Thank you so much for the hospitality of the Masons. Wasn't it a spectacular parade?
Great, great. On behalf of the Masons of the 8th Masonic District, Brattleboro Lodge, and also Grand Lodge, it's been a pleasure to serve you.
You had a wonderful float. You told me you watched and was it a winner?
I don't know. We got our hands crossed.
Well, thank you very much, Lou. He's a little shy. We want to thank him for his wonderful effort. And thank you for joining us. Again, thank you for joining us. There'll be a rebroadcast of this parade coming up on Channel 8. Just watch Channel 8 for details. We'll keep you posted. And again, copies of the parade will be available. See BRW Electronics in Black Mountain Square on Putney Road in Brattleboro for details. Richard Harper is coordinating that. We're delighted to say that there will be copies of this parade available for you to keep for record, especially if you had people that were participating in the parade. And thank you so much for joining us. I'm Larry Smith from WTSA. From all of us at Warner Cable and Channel 8, have a wonderful Sunday afternoon, and thanks for joining us.